Good afternoon on what is a bright, warm and sunny day. It is Tuesday the 22nd of March and I'm in the Read Nook with some parcels. And the next one I'm going to unbox is this one, which has come all the way from, well, Sweden. So let's find out what is in here. First up, let's just slice open. Okay, slice open that. I'll take the papers out of the way. Oh yeah, I get at the actual packaging below because it looks to be firmly glued. There we go. Okay, so what we've got in here is that, which is something else flipping around in there. No. Which is post-war games. Good guys finish last. Which I'm told is worth 25 cents. Okay, so on my focus, like I said, what's this about? I don't know. There's no blurb, so let's find out. This is it's from. Let's have a look. Just trying to see, okay, what's this about? I'm just trying to find out what it is about. It's a superhero role-playing game. Yeah. It's okay. It's basically a role-playing game whereby the players and referee take on the role of authors, audience, publishers, and so on, creating unique comic stories through combat, comic sales, interplay, investigation, and scene framing. Everyone has a role to play about just being a player character. Everyone has an investment in the gestalt of the player. So, and essentially, it's a superhero game with a bit of a difference. But I would like to say it's not quite obvious what that difference is from just saying, you know, there's no blurb. Is my first reaction, because I'd like to be able to read out what the blurb to you is shielded it. But you create, although it says good guys finish last, you actually are playing a hero. You're not playing a villain. You start off by playing, creating a hero, and given, you know, basically various traits. Essentially, it even suggests, still confused, if you consult the online reference material, i.e. trademark heroes are quite popular today, copy one of the Disney-owned heroes. But I mean, obviously, when it says do that, it's basically do that as a homage. Do it as it's not necessarily, you know, to break to break copyright as such, but really just take that as inspiration. But you have your characters, and they are all. There are 11 all extraordinary talents exhibited by heroic characters: boundless, brains, brawn, celestial, energized, field-generating, inorganic, psychic, reflective, uncanny, and valorous. So this is a bit different. So we've got an explanation of the traits there. Starting traits, and basically there are different power levels. And then we have rules for trait unpredictability if you want sort of like a more random element to your game. And then the powers and skills derived from your character traits, or more correctly, heroic abilities result by turning traits and combinations of the traits into actual game actions. So on, and it's meant to be sort of like created through play, from what I can see. But you've got the great, really quite fun artwork which sort of captures the feel of it. And then it's interesting, sort of like you're combining these traits. So codex of combat traits, so you might have boundless and brains, success on degree difficult, and cause fatigue wound by the mental destructive mode or emotional mood mode selected during character creation. So there's or boundless and inorganic, success on degree, and tasking in one opponent with a focused energy mode or a heat mode. So you're combining these traits for various effects, and it's doing the same thing for your brains and your brawn, and it's going through all of them like that. So celestial and energized and field generating and inorganic, psychic, reflective, and so on. So they've got quite a lot of these, and lists of these, and then sorting out how tough you are, because obviously you can deal out the damage, can you take it? And superheroes kind of need to be able to take it. Right up to the question, sort of like, so it's got a guide on counting wounds all the way up to, what about direct hit, nuclear strike, and the like? Because some heroes and villains do have that kind of level of power. So you've got guidelines on handling that. So if you get up to cosmic or the equivalent of power, we've got 11 modes of attack. Phases of combat, so it's primarily focused on phases of combat and the results of damage, range attacks, terrain, and artificial protection, using sort of like a terrain against the enemy, or to protect yourself from the enemy's attack, and more. And then if things go wrong, there's a major mishap table. Again, nicely prefigured by these pieces of artwork which fit the genre. Then we've got a guide to creating your villains with their attack modes, and you're doing that by drawing cards. So if you have say a 10 of hearts, Nemesis is distorted or hideous such that he causes damage by attack mode emotional. Or 6 of clubs, Nemesis can gaze at non-living objects on the battlefield and cause them to melt. The gooey mess causes damage by attack modes chemical or heat. Yuck. So you've got lots of those. And then you have deadlier hits and the big reveal, because obviously, who's the hero, take the mask off, or who's the villain. Unmasking the villain is always very much a part of the genre. And then guidance for inflicting damage to good guys, and building more elements of your nemesis, or basically nemesis invulnerabilities, because obviously there's going to be some in there. So for example, Jack of Hearts, Nemesis body is energized because this ignores damage caused by attack mode electrical. Or 7 of Diamonds, Nemesis is insanely driven or possessed with inhuman fury to his purpose. Because of this, he ignores damages caused by the following attack modes: emotional, mental, disruptive, and physical. So that's quite a lot. And then you've got nice action scene. I already do like artwork in here. It does sort of capture some of sort of like the 4-colour kind of feel. And all this is leading up to an example of combat. So you get to the point where, okay, here are the rules work, and here's how they work, and nicely it does show you rather than as well as tell you. So that's actually over the course of 5 rounds. Tech enhancements for that kind of character. Some characters, obviously, you think of something like Iron Man with his suit, and then traps, because of course death traps are absolutely de rigueur in this genre. And then we have non-combat powers and skills so far. So this is quite a lot in really on to be focused on combat, but there are heroes don't have powers, just have they also have abilities outside of combat. We have examples of stealth and uncanny, and looking at who can fly, because they're important aspects of when you're creating a player character, or a superhero anyway. And then we get into game arc, so we're looking at sort of like the structure of the play. and dealing with friends and enemies, the press, and so on. Basically, one of the earliest role-playing games, superhero role-playing games, to deal with the press and popularity was Golden Heroes, which did that very well. And then we have an actual guide about how to play your character. So you've got a lot of rules and background, how to bring the genre into play. And then we've got a section on playing your character and advancement. And here we come on to artist problem and cancellation during obscurity. So we actually have become a sort of step out, up to a meta level where you've got these heroes going on adventures, and now we sort of step away, so where you are the artist or the author, the writer, and even the publisher. So dealing with cash flows and things like changing publishers and copyright disputes, and declining readership. So that's all. This is really superhero comics adventures, on multiple levels. I mean, you are role playing a superhero adventure as you are, but it's actually a comic that you're drawing and writing and also publishing. So that's quite a novel idea. So we are dealing with things like, no interest or nostalgia cancellation, reader complaints, resurrection issues, spin-off series, TV series, feeling very modern there. Of course, special notes fitting the big time, so that's when you get a big movie made, and it's popular. We've got the character progression notes on how to progress through a story arc on the progression of the characters through whether it's the big time or obscurity. And then we've got the actual ignoble system, which is all for comic book roleplay optional. This basically advancing the character's circulation. So that's optional. And good guys finish last, as it should be. Playing the nemesis. This is a guide for the referee, presumably. And then we've got quick and dirty systems, quick and dirty crime solving, clue points, and so on. Basically pushing the game up, pushing the adventure along, and how to run that through a chase setting. Urban pursuit using brains and brawn, and then using valorous, energized, field generating, again using the traits of the characters, and then the other options as well all get their own tables. And then obstacles to the pursuit. So this is really sort of like a storytelling, freestyle kind of act, role-playing game for the superhero genre. So yeah, that's Good Guys Finish Last. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing. If you have, then please click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the next, where you will see me out here with a parcel and a book or game which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice cup of tea. Then please do hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.